Hello and grüß Gott. Well, on this video, we're going to be doing some paint touch-up on our 1997 Toyota 4Runner. Now, this is the original paint. It's awesome, and over time, it's gotten some rock chips like this. Now, the only way to really fix it, in my opinion, is of course to reduce and sand down the entire vehicle and repaint it by hand. But that's very expensive, and there's no need to do that for just a few rock chips. So what we're going to do is use a kit to rectify this. But the first thing you're going to do is take a reducer. In this case, we're using some high-strength IPA, like 93% isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to clean that area. Now, what that's going to do is remove any residual waxes or materials that are in that area so that when you apply some paint to it, it'll actually stick. So we're going to do that, let it dry, and I'll come back. So the paint we're going to use is Automotive Touch-Up. This is the base coat, of which you put a clear coat on top of it. This is Toyota 1A5, which is Desert Dune, color of our vehicle. And so we're going to take a very, very small, made in Germany, micro brush. It looks like this. And we're going to dip just the smallest amount and just barely touch it in there. If you're not careful, it'll build up too high and it'll be very obvious. And if you don't put enough in, of course, it won't fill in the area. So you want to try to fill it in very carefully without building it up too much, and also realize the solvents will evaporate and leave it, it'll shrink down. So you want to focus on getting most of the paint in the center, because if you have it around the edges, it'll look like a pimple. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill it in real quick and be right back. Okay, so we have the paintbrush loaded with a tiny bit of paint, just the tiniest bit. And we're going to work it into that little spot right there. You can see how the spot is actually almost disappearing. And if you need to make a couple of coats, that's fine. Just make sure it dries for a couple hours in between the two. And so that's how you fill it in, just like that. So we did some painting earlier, and we let it dry for a couple of days. And what we've done now is we've come back and we wet sanded with 1000 to 2000 grit sandpaper. Just very, very careful wherever it was lumpy. You just sand those particular areas, which there was several defects in this area here. Then what we did is came back with Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and used that to further clean it up, make it look really nice. And then the final thing we did was used Meguiar's Ultimate Polish. So all this has been polished now. So we're not going to wax this for at least 30 days. And then after that time, we'll come back and we'll do waxing. And so most of the little nicks and stuff we had in this paint, although they're not perfectly fixed, it looks a lot better than it did. And for being a 1997 model car, I think it looks great. And it's really nice to be able to get this nice matching touch-up paint. So that's all there is to this short video. Thanks for watching. Tschüss.